In this short video, I share my philosophy as a mental health nurse and solution-focused hypnotherapist. If you've ever felt like you're constantly fixing yourself, but still stuck, I want to offer a different way. In a world obsessed with fixing ourselves, what if the real change begins when we stop fighting who we are? I believe in meeting people not as problems to be solved, but as stories still being written. In my work, I don't impose change. I don't fix. I facilitate. My role is to create a space where someone can begin to feel safe enough to meet themselves. Because healing doesn't happen in the presence of judgment. It happens when someone is finally seen with compassion, with honesty, and with belief. One of the greatest forces in healing is how we speak to ourselves. The brain listens, and it remembers. When our inner voice is critical or harsh, it doesn't just echo, it shapes us. It reinforces the very patterns we're trying to escape. To survive, we often develop behaviors, habits of thought and action that once kept us safe. But over time, those habits can become outdated. We forget their origin, and soon they feel like who we are. We internalize them, and sometimes even reject ourselves because of them. But these aren't flaws, they're just old code. Outdated survival strategies running on a system that did its best. That's why I invite people to update their inner language, to soften it, to speak to themselves like they would a friend. Not what's wrong with me, but what happened to me and how did I survive it? Not I'm broken, but I've been protecting myself the best way I know how. Because when we shift the story, we begin to break the loop, and we open space for something new to grow. I believe true transformation begins the moment we stop fighting ourselves and start befriending ourselves. Because ultimately, we live with ourselves 24/7, and the relationship we build within becomes the one that shapes everything else. In my work, I simply hold the mirror until they can see the strength that was always there, until they no longer need me, because they have themselves. If this approach speaks to you, I'd be honored to walk with you for a while.